Let's get into some live coaching with one of my clients, Miss Shirley Atiz. She's going to be here in a moment. But I also want to talk about the dangers of not being prepared for the manifestations that you prayed for. I want to discuss with Shirley what it looks like when you don't trust your body. You don't trust the joy. You don't trust the power. So Shirley, I see that you're here. Go ahead and request to join me live. And let me just double check. I don't have any requests. So all you have to do is request to join me live. Those of you who are watching, let's get into this. I want us to discuss all of the powers that are in us that we are suppressing, that we are denying. Okay. And if welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Shirley, you should be able to come on through. Let's see here. Accept. Oh,
Hello!
hello. Hi.
Hello,
Hello
hello.
and hello. All right, y'all. Let's get right into this. So, first of all, are we both wearing little robes?
We are.
I decided to put a little pin in mine because, honey, the Instagram was like, this is just too much titties going
I
on here. So I was like, let me just kind of put a little button right here, a little
There we
pin.
go. I was like, I'm so glamming this up to have a conversation with you because why not?
Why not? Because why not? So, Shirley Tees, I want you to introduce yourself to the folks because what I want people to get into is that you are a working mom of three
Yep.
who started burlesque, I wrote, at the perfect age of 43. So, can you give us just a quick rundown of who you are and also what made you say yes to working with me?
Absolutely. So yes, uh, Shirley Atiz here. As Pearl said, I am a working mom. By day, I'm a professional business consultant, working with clients and helping them to navigate change.
Mm-hmm.
um, and coaching people through that.
Yes.
And I'm a mom of three, single mom of three, who's had you know uh, some challenges in relationships.
Yes.
So I've
Yes.
navigated that and figured out that what I was staying in was not fulfilling me, and so I left two different relationships
Wow.
and was gifted with three incredible children. um, and, I navigate the life as a single mom, co-parenting with one parent. One dad is not in the picture at all.
Mm.
And one point in my life, my life imploded. I had another relationship that was very not good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I learned it quicker that time. But at the same time, I was losing myself in a toxic job, and I eventually got let go
Wow.
because I couldn't bend my ethics and speaking truth to power, which was not appreciated. And I ended up, after playing by the rules and being a good girl and doing everything that was expected of me in my life, with a trail of broken relationships, broken down inside,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, just lost my job, lost everything. I really kind of lost who I was. And, love it or hate it, Facebook algorithms popped up a an introduction to burlesque by Rosie Bitts, who is a performer here
Yes.
in Canada, kind of the mom
Yes.
of burlesque in
Yes.
this area on the
Yes.
West Coast.
Yes. Shout out
And
to Rosie Bits. Yes.
yep,
Doing amazing things for
yeah.
years. Yes. Yes.
And learn to love your jiggly bits. And I thought, well, you know, damn it, I've done everything right
Yeah.
and it didn't go right. And
Yes.
there's a part of me yearning to get out. And so I did. I put up my hand. I went into that class and it started to break the walls. Um,
Come through. Yes.
and so it was literally two fingers up at
Mm-hmm.
society for having played the game and got screwed is what
Mm-hmm.
it felt like. But
Yes.
it might have been an act of rebellion at 43, but in truth, it was actually an act of self-love because I started to find out who I was inside.
Yeah.
And a lot of the limiting stories kind of let go. And I was on that journey for 3 years. And about, I guess it was almost a year ago, I really had this desire to do fans. And I
Yes.
started following you on Instagram, and I found your 3-day fan intensive, and I thought, oh, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched you perform, and I just started crying because I was like, that is soul performance.
Yes.
And you did it without needing to play a character or words in a song. You just embodied yourself in performance. And I was like, I want to do that. And I started following you, and I started like looking at the things you were doing. And I was at a momcation because I do this once a year where I just
Love
drop
it.
everything and I walk away from my life for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to an island, and I go into a cabin, and it's in the forest, it's by the ocean, and I
Yes.
just am like, I hermit.
Yes.
Um, and I was watching you, and I was on a podcast for In Our Hag Era about my Age to Perfection show, and I was feeling I was breaking open some things, and Healing Through Seduction came up, and I thought, you know what? There was something about what you did in that fan workshop that opened another door that I wasn't ready to step through
Mm.
until I was on that vacation, and I saw that, and I thought, you know what? This is an investment in myself, and yes, I have limited funds, but it was like, I want to do it. I want to heal
Yes.
in a way that I saw you be, if that makes sense.
It does. And thank you for being open to the power and to the light. And to anyone who's watching this live or you're going to see the replay, I think a lot of people, because the gaslighting is working, because the marketing is working, you know, I think it's by design that people with feminine energy, not just women, anyone
Mm,
with feminine energy, anyone who's just like, I'm going to live in this feminine energy, we've all kind of been sold this powerful lie that your life ends, your power, your beauty ends at 25, and you should have everything figured out, and you should belong to a husband, you should belong to your children, and that is it.
yep.
And if you are single like me, then your life is about being the eldest daughter. Your life is about what are you doing for your community, for your race? What are you doing for the world? And, ignore yourself. But I think you and I, 45 and 43, let us know in the chat if this is ringing for you. The truth that they never wanted us to know is that actually in our late 30s and 40s is when we are truly activated. The
Yes.
spinster age is when we actually find that peace within ourselves. It's when we actually truly trust ourselves to let that power shine. And so that is probably why you, like you said, you were finally in a place to where you could actually sign up for Healing Through Seduction and really be open to it. So I want to get right into your one-on-one coaching. So y'all, we're going to definitely talk about why Shirley, signed up for HTS a bit more. And I want to talk about how Healing Through Seduction has helped you. But I want to get into this coaching because I believe it's going to help a lot of people. Let's talk about the fact that you received a manifestation, not just received it, but the universe, your guides, your ancestors, whatever you trust in, presented an opportunity for you, and you had to fight. In a sense, there was a part of you that had to fight to say, why not put your name in the hat? Your nurturing energy, because I attract nurturers, automatically
Mm.
went to who can I offer this opportunity to, just totally ignoring yourself,
Who can I
even
help?
though this was an opportunity you've been manifesting and you've wanted, and it's an opportunity to bring in more visibility and more money. And we know with more visibility and more money, then we can do all the other things that we want to do for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for humanity. And then you wrote in the HTS community, so I'll let you break down what had happened. What had happened was, and how I kind of was like, well, I don't know. You tell me, what is your body saying? How everything is connected to the body. Tell the people about that time a manifestation appeared and you were not ready for your manifestation. You weren't connected to your body, because when we trust our body, we what? We trust our intuition. When we trust our intuition, we trust our what? Our dreams. When we trust our dreams, we trust the whispers in our ear. We trust the connection. We trust source. And then we're able to not sabotage the actual manifestation once we are in it. Tell the good people about that time you won and you said, I don't really know about this.
It was so we had a Healing Through Seduction class a couple of weeks ago, and it was sort of a repressed persona and bringing them up and you know, dancing with and for them.
Yeah.
And I brought up my sacral manifested persona, Lottie Licks, and she's very powerful. She was there from the beginning of my burlesque.
Yeah.
But she was too big. She was too big for me. But she came out a couple of weeks ago, and I said at the end of that class, like even at the beginning of the class, I was like, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of this power. I am afraid of letting it loose. I've been afraid my whole life.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes. That I can't control it, because in the times that it has come out because of the repression, it's burst out. It's been overwhelming and it scared me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been afraid of actually saying come out freely, because I'm afraid of how big it is, that I can't control it, that I can't be a part of it. Like it's going to take me over, even though it is me.
Yes.
So, you know, the logic obviously doesn't work there, but it at the end of that, you said, watch out for the sign from the ancestors.
I did.
And something happened, and I thought that was it. I saw a beautiful post about the witch's wound, and this connected back to like a healing that I had done. And I thought, look, sign from the ancestors, beautiful, yay. And then I got contacted by a family friend in Vancouver. I live on Vancouver Island, and was looking for a burlesque performer for a private party. Do I know anyone? And I was like, oh, you know, well, give me the details and I can get in touch with the Vancouver burlesque community and see who could perform for you. And as I was getting the details, and I was sitting there and I was like, you know, I could do that, but no, I'm not that caliber. I'm not that level. I can't do private parties and be paid for it, right? Because I've performed at private parties for friends for free.
Right.
But that's okay, because I wasn't getting paid. So I cannot be of that caliber. And yet everybody tells me that I'm a wonderful performer. It was like, I can't do private. I want to do private. I can't do it. And I posted in the Healing Through Seduction community, and I said, hey, everybody, I need a bit of a boost.
Yes.
This opportunity has come up, and I don't know that I can take it on.
Yes.
And you very lovingly came back and said, why are you looking for external instead of going inside to yourself, which is what we're teaching and learning through this program. And I was kind of like, oh,
Yes.
Reminder, redirection,
yes.
Thank you. But
yes,
you know, I had a conversation today with a colleague. I had a bad day. I had a bad day today.
Yeah.
Things went off the rails from the morning, and yet I pulled it back for a client meeting, and it was amazing. And they were really, really happy with what I did. And I went for lunch with my colleague, and I was just saying, I'm heavy. I'm tired. I'm really tired. And I feel like I can't do it all sometimes. But there's not a lot that I can take off my plate because I have to do my job, be able to pay for the house, for the 3 kids, because I just don't get a lot of support. And the only thing I have that's optional is burlesque, but it's not,
Yes.
because it's my soul expression and I need it. And yet I just feel overwhelmed. And then I said to him, I'm so tired because I'm so stuck in inertia from fear. And he said to me, he said, well, maybe you needed to go through this hard day to kind of realize how tired you are of being afraid. And maybe your coaching tonight is your chance to just break something down, break through. And it, like, literally, I was sitting there talking to him. I was like, I'm so tired, but I can't give up burlesque. And he said, no, you can't, because it's what brightens you. It's your thing for you. He says, you do so much for everybody. And that's your one thing. And he's like, when you talk about it, when you perform, the joy, you can't give it up.
Yeah.
You have to find a way. He said, maybe it's the fear. He said, maybe it's the fear. And I just sat there and I thought, I am so stuck in this inertia, like this thickness. Like I feel like I'm constantly fighting this through this quicksand, this anchor, this whatever, that my soul wants to break free. My power wants to fly. And I am so afraid of it that I can't go backwards, but I can't go forwards. And this is what healing through seduction is like. You're just raising stuff up big time right now for me.
Yes. That is my specialty.
Yeah.
You know,
it is.
I want to just offer this to you. These are a few things that came to me while you were talking, because I think it's going to help some people here today. Let us know in the chat if any of this is resonating with you. You can just drop a 1 in the chat. And so what we want to always do, once we decide that we are going to trust the next version of ourselves, we want to constantly remember the grace period. When you start a new job, you usually have that 90-day grace period where you're learning the company lingo, you're learning the community, you're learning everything. And I hope you can see in the chat that you are not alone. Okay. And we learn how to be this new version of ourselves in a new environment. So I want you to remember the grace for one, everybody. Somebody put grace in the chat. Remember to offer yourself grace, because you've never been this version of yourself. Like, we're thinking that we need to have it all figured out. How can we have it all figured out when we've never been this version of ourselves? The other thing I want to offer to you and to everyone listening, I want you to start seducing yourself by letting yourself be, one, a baby and a student. When we see babies trying to walk for the first time, when they fall, we clap. We're like, oh my God, you fell down because you were trying. Okay, we watch them eat with their hands, and we don't say, look at that dumbass baby eating with their hands. We're like, oh, look at that baby trying new foods today. So I want you to start being the person who will allow you to be a baby. Ask yourself to be willing to be in the luxury of being a student. You have never been this version of yourself. Somebody put grace in the chat if you're going to start doing this. This is one beautiful and powerful, easy way you can start healing through the art of burlesque. Burlesque is about giving yourself opportunities to nurture the different versions of yourselves. Now, other people teach, create this fake persona. Now, that's not what I do. That's not what I was called to do. Nope. So you are learning how to operate in this other part of yourself. The other thing I wrote down is to remember that fear and like having control, you know, these strategies have been used on all of us, every race, every gender, since the beginning of time. So just keep telling yourself a truth, which is that you are now deconstructing brainwashing. you have been brainwashed and now you are setting yourself free. Okay. And I know that a lot of us have talked ourselves out of a blessing the same way you did many times because we are taught since a young age. I talked about this the other day. We couldn't even go to the bathroom when we wanted to at church, at school. You have to raise your hand. So we are taught from the young age that everything we do, we must have permission first. So you see what I'm saying? So just these are the things that you're up against, but you can change them. The other thing that I want to invite you to start doing to seduce the fear, to dance with the fear, and to tell the fear the truth. You said, you know, you're tired, you just don't have support, you're doing it alone. And I want you to know that actually you're living in a new day. We're on this call and there are strangers in the chat supporting you right now. So now you are learning how to say yes to the support, because the universe offered that moment where they said, hey, we're looking for someone. And the next time the universe comes through, you'll say, well, I'm someone, I'm in community. Now you can still post about it because we don't need to gatekeep. You know, we can trust the abundance. We don't have to be in a scarcity. And you went where you knew you were going to be supported, which was right in the HTS community. You knew what I was going to tell you. So understand that you are shifting and you are already receiving yourself, honey.
Yeah.
You're already pouring into yourself. You went right where you knew you would be poured into. So
Yep.
the days of you not having support, they are gone. And you know, like you said, you're working hard because you need to, baby, Reba McEntire, okay? A single mom who works 2 jobs and lots of kids and never stops, okay? She's a
Yep.
survivor, right? But the days of you doing it alone, they are over. And now you need to retrain yourself to be a person who says yes to the support, because those private gigs, that is how I was making $100,000 a year as a burlesque performer. And I would teach the classes all the time. And those were the classes that no one came to because everyone just wants the instant gratification. They want the 5, 6, 7, 8 classes so their peers can see them doing well in class and so on and so on. So I want to pause here. Let's check in with your body. Let's check in with your body. Oh, one more thing that I wrote down. Worthiness is connected to how much you trust your ancestors or spiritual team. How would you feel if you kept showing up for your child, other loved ones, the people at work, but all they did was discount your love? All they did was discount the work. All they did was discount the countless hours that you did the extra work, right? We would feel
I know how that feels. I had many relationships
exactly.
that
So
yeah.
don't do it to your ancestors then. Don't do it to the new community that you have. So if you have been there, put a 5 in the chat if y'all have been there. You've been the person that's down for everybody. You've been the strong friend. You've been the employee that's working the extra hours and not even getting paid for it. And you're like, this is effed up. And I want you to know, so the new version of you has to also see how you might be doing the same toxic and abusive things to your spiritual team and to your body, your mind, and your spirit. But burlesque will teach you how to shift from that, because burlesque is storytelling, having autonomy, honoring your boundaries, giving yourself consent to trust this new version of yourself. Let me know if anything has felt good for you. Y'all let us know in the chat as well. Daphne is also in our community. Thank you for being here, Daphne. Let me know if anything has resonated for you, and if you're ready to take on nurturing the new version of yourself.
Yes. Like yeah, I you know, that as I say, I just I've never felt myself able. If I actually say that out loud, it sounds awful.
Yeah.
But I've never felt myself able. Um, I strive, I push, I deliver, I provide, but I don't do for me,
But today is a new day. Before we get
today's
off
a
this
new day.
call,
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's very clear that it's perfect. Your other story is perfect.
Yeah.
It nurtured you to this point. And
It got me
now
here.
you're walking again in a new way.
I I actually really love what you said about the babies,
Yeah.
and students, because yeah, it's it's true. And yet, because I'm the age I am, and I'm the level that I'm at in certain areas, I expect all areas to be at that same level, but that's not realistic because, you know, we learn, we try, we stumble, we try again, we stumble, we try again, but we get better. And it's like I was expecting this to just happen. Um, but it's just trusting myself. And as you say, the reason why I went into the community and I posted that, because I was like, I'm going to get uplifted because that is the intention of that community. Um, but you beautifully intervened before anyone could uplift me to say, you can uplift yourself. This
Mm-hmm.
is what we're here for, to teach you to trust yourself. And what you said about worthiness is connected to how much I trust my spiritual team. um, in the last little bit, because I've been so tired, I haven't been doing my meditations as much. The days I do my meditation, my days are beautiful. When I forget to connect into my spirit, my guides, my days are hard. And I, it's like I think, oh, I'm too busy. But it's like if I take the time, I feel so much more energized. I feel so much more powerful.
Also, you're not too busy.
Uh, yeah, really,
Everybody, you're
I'm
not too
not.
busy. I love you all.
I'm not.
I love you. Daphne, yes, this will be saved. I'll do my replay. I wanna invite you to rephrase something you just said. You said you went
Yeah,
into the community to be uplifted, but before anyone could uplift you, I came in there and was like, uplift yourself. I did uplift you. I uplifted
you
you
did.
by giving you a hand and saying,
Yeah,
my hand is out, grab my hand, but I'm not gonna pull
no,
you up
no.
because you can get up.
Yes, that is
And so,
true. You put out a hand and reminded me that someone was there
yes, you,
and that
you
I was able.
do you see where I'm trying to get at here? Because I
Yeah,
think your burnout is connected to not feeling supported because of the past relationships. Because I have to honor that's where you started the conversation.
yeah,
So that tells me that there's still some things there that are weighing on you. And so the seduction for you might be when you're meditating with your guides and your spiritual team, it might be time to meditate maybe in the shower and cry it out and let the part of you that is still maybe seeking validation that they were so wrong to hurt you, or maybe seeking some closure. And I think maybe this is an invitation as a person who has been there, as a person who's a double cancer. So baby, I know about feelings, and I know one of the negative traits they say about cancers is, baby, don't wrong us, because it might be a decade before I let it go,
true.
right?
I'm a
Right.
Cancer as well, so I get you
So there,
there.
there we
Yep,
go. But
yep,
in our Cancerian cells, as we are vibrating higher, and then this is also where you can then show your beautiful children what it looks like to evolve, right? So evolution requires new trust, new faith, and new boundaries, and perhaps even new spiritual practices. Maybe your spiritual practice is to cry more. Cry when you're having a little one-on-one special time. Cry when you're watching a movie. Cry when you see the sun shine, because we're in the winter. So like there might be snow and rain one day, but then like, oh my God, now the sun is shining, because it's reminding you that you too will go through the ebbs and flows. I want you to start allowing yourself to even start being seduced by the trees. The trees when we're grieving, and because also what's also this is what thank you what's coming to me is you also might feel very burnt out because you're grieving your old self. And so I want you to start allowing yourself to look at trees more and looking at how they just stand so tall and grounded regardless of their season, because they trust without a shadow of a doubt that there will be another season, right? Let's see what else came for you. I wrote
Yeah.
down, don't take the easy way out on yourself. What I mean by that is I'm not discounting that you might truly be physically tired, but that tiredness may not be connected to you failing or you doing things wrong or you not moving fast enough. What a sad existence you would actually have to be 43 and know it all and have it all figured out, because that would mean your life would be a life of an AI. You might as well be a robot. That means you're not going to experience anything else to make you happy. You know, one of the things that I kept reminding myself of, because my guides would send me this message when I was grieving: you haven't met everyone who's going to love you yet.
Yeah.
And you've joined the HTS community and you are seeing just how much love you truly can get. So your assignment, I get the sense you need to cry more and change your relationship with crying. I get the sense you need to fall more and change your relationship with the fact that you're a baby. I want you to change your relationship with luxury. It's a luxury to evolve, to be a student. There are people probably in your own line and they had no choices.
Yeah.
We have, regardless of what we want to change as feminine beings, to even be a single mother who also is showing her children what it looks like to have something for yourself. That's burlesque for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand how you are healing the line?
Yeah.
Have I said anything that feels good to you? It's like Candy said, keep growing, keep changing, keep learning. You see, there's just so much support for you here.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot that you said there that's just really kind of hitting home. Changing the relationship I have with crying. Crying to me has always been something you do in despair.
Oh no, no.
It's not something, you know, it's not something I've ever really done outside of despair. That's what tears are for, um, is what I've known.
Yeah.
So the idea of, letting the tears flow for whenever they need to flow or
Yes.
want to flow,
Yes.
that to me is like, oh, but what if people, see and it's, there's a lot of conditioning that has been in my life. Um, but when you say go into the shower and cry, I had that happen about a week ago, that I collapsed in the shower and I was dancing in the shower and just something struck my body and I just like, that was it. I was on the floor of the shower just bawling. And
Good.
I, I have not grieved the loss of my old life, the loss of the image of my old life.
You must. You
The
must.
mother with a successful marriage and
Mhm.
home and the picket fence and all of that. I haven't grieved it.
And you must. And I want you to use burlesque to grieve it. You know, maybe even creating a beautiful altar for her. And in this altar, you thank her. You say, man, we did it. We fell in love. We have children. Look at what we have. And look at how we were protected to where when it was no longer working, we had the luxury to then create a new life and show our children and our ancestors. And Daphne wrote down, you are becoming the new ancestor. Yes. Having a space for her. And you can dance for her, and you can even get married and write her new vows. I wrote down, I want you to allow yourself to experience crying as an orgasmic experience. So if you can buy a rose quartz, maybe you already have one. When I was grieving, I bought a rose quartz toy. I'm trying to be mindful of Instagram,
Yes.
a little moment. And what I would do is just insert, put one rose quartz near my heart, and then allow myself to have a natural rhythm and dance. Oh, okay, she's getting good with like trying to say what I'm trying to say, but honoring the
Yep.
rules. I would let my body have a natural dance, not with the intention to have an O, but with the intention to let love wash over me from myself. So your assignment is to create an altar for her. Your assignment is to start being very mindful of the story that you're telling every day. Your assignment is to, anytime you're thinking about judging the fact that you're a baby right now, I want you to think about, you said, what if people see me cry? And I wrote, and what if your children and your ancestors see your baptism? Then we teach them, we prepare them. We say life is a beautiful imperfection, a beautiful roller coaster. And when things happen and when you need to grieve beautiful children, this is what it looks like. Mama is in the room crying. She's okay. And I'll come out when I'm ready. And I want you to hear my tears. I want you to hear my warrior cry. I want you to see what strength really is. And then I'm going to tell you, and Mama's going to burlesque class, so that you know how important movement, community, art, creativity is to this beautiful thing we call life. What if your children and your ancestors see your baptism?
Wow. Okay, that's a pow.
Yeah. Okay. It's like
Wow.
Kende said, you are gaining wisdom from the best. I mean, the spirit is moving today, because I've never wrote
Good.
that down. And when I do one-on-ones, I usually have rituals and messages, pals that come from the ancestors that are for you. And I'm really grateful to you. Everyone's please show Shirley some love, because she's being so vulnerable. I usually don't do one-on-ones like this, but I knew this would help, and it looks like this is helping other people. So thank you for your vulnerability. I feel like you received what you needed from me. I'm going to see how you feel if you have any other questions. But I think I did what I was supposed to do for you.
Yeah, uh there's a lot there.
And I'm gonna do the replay, so I'm gonna post this right away, so you can come, because you
Yep.
might need to come back to this.
I think this is going to be a rewatch. I
Yes,
also think I am going to need to do some dancing out tonight.
yes,
Um, get those kids, tucked away, and
yes,
then I am going to put on some music, and I am just going to kind of let free whatever comes, because uh, that went pretty deep.
yeah. We went to some places. Now, did you see where I posted the chakra vibration audio? Uh,
Yes.
try that one
Okay.
using a massager.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for you to, let's see what kind of, and again, not to have an O, but to have an orgasmic experience with self. And start your days, go back to the self-consent. I give myself consent to be wealthy. Wealth is connected to freedom and choices. And then the money's there too. But real wealth, real generational wealth, is connected to your well-being. So start your day by bringing in the team. And when you do find yourself feeling burnt out, come back to the body, pause, and ask, how can I tap into my inner burlesque diva here? What story do I need to tell? How do I need to take my autonomy back? How do I need to honor my boundaries? What is the stage calling me to do? Okay?
This is what I love about you. Is you just it's and this is why I love Healing Through Seduction, is it's not a burlesque class. It's so much bigger than that. What you do for all of us in that class is just, you just create container for
Thank you.
transformation. And you, as you said, you put your hand out, but you're not there to judge us, tell us, like, make sure we're attending or not attending. You're like, you are fully capable, autonomous beings,
Yes.
resilient, strong, and powerful. And I have faith that you will come when you need to come to where you need to come. And I am here.
Yes.
But I'm not going to be looking and waiting for you, because that is up to you. But
And
you offer.
part of the healing that I'm trying to offer is, that's why the recording is there. That's why the community is there. So if you do miss something, you can always come back to it. And I'm so grateful that my ancestors sent burlesque to me, that they told that pimp, no, you have to release this one. And, you know, my burlesque performances, the reason why I have the connection with everyone on stage is because burlesque has always been a healing modality for me. And so I'm very grateful that I've always tried to teach it like this, but everything takes time. And now people are truly seeing, like, oh, okay, yes, Pearl, let's do burlesque your way. Which is have it as a lifestyle and an agent for your healing.
Yeah,
Do you
100%.
have any final questions? Anyone in the chat, do you all have any final questions or any words of love and power while we're doing what we do? Those of you who want to get into this work, you know, do a beautiful, start with a free demo. Okay, so go to the link in my bio and sign up for a class on Wednesdays. I teach my Healing Through Seduction masterclass. That's a beautiful preview, or you can download my workbook. Or if you're already ready to work with me, you can sign up for the teas. DM me and I will give you a coupon code for that. And that's what I have. Any final words before we let you go liberate yourself even more?
Lightness. I I had a weight here,
Yeah.
and it's just like, but it's not an expansion that feels scary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just an openness
Yeah.
that's ready to be filled with something new.
Perfect.
So thank
Perfect.
you.
What I'm going to do is reshare this, but I'm also going to download it and then I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I'll keep it as unlisted and put it in our community. That way you have the link. And if you feel comfortable with me sharing it on YouTube as well, it's going to be live here. But after you watch it, if you're like, you know what, I'm happy to take it down if you'd like, but I think you're going to be okay. But I always like to give people that option, but I'll make sure that I have like the actual YouTube link. That way you can always have the easier access and you're not having to scroll to find it on my
You know
Instagram.
what? I'm totally happy for this to be made public and shared, because one of the things that I have been called to in my journey is to use my
Okay.
voice to express things that might actually open up healing for others. So
Perfect.
this is, like, to me, in line with that calling. So please
Okay.
make it. There's nothing in here that I feel is like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, well, I am going to share this, everyone, on Instagram. Please share this. If you know anyone who needs to have that orgasmic lifestyle, anyone who needs to honor their manifestations or power, please share it. All right, I'm gonna let you go, honey. I'm gonna let all of y'all go, actually.
Thank
Those of you who are
you.
just joining, I'm going to share this replay right now. Thanks, everybody. Until next
Thank
time. Pow! Bye.